Hey,
So
these people got courses up and shit already talking about, come on, let me show you you get this course. And I like these motherfuckers so
On
much.
of course
ChatGPT,
on what?
Yeah,
ChatGPT?
yeah.
and they
People
probably
got
had put
courses.
it in ChatGPT to
GPT,
make
Yeah.
write me a course.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, they told ChatGPT, make me a course on how to use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Man,
Kick it
you're
right out in
absolutely
3
right,
seconds.
Ron.
Hey, look, so I practice with it with stuff I already know.
Yes.
Right? Like I'll put it in there to see how accurate it is.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts Curtis G. Martin, Rhonda L. Brown, and Khalif Johnson Sr., the one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems podcast where we discuss solutions. I'm Curtis G. Martin, and I'm here with my co-host, Rhonda L. Brown.
Hey, everybody.
And my other co-host, Khalif Johnson Sr.
Hey, peace out. How y'all doing?
And our new member, well, not new, but new to the podcast, Lashika Phillips.
Hey.
Hey, y'all, and we've been sitting here talking about ChatGPT. Y'all go for it.
Hey, it's funny.
Talking about it, and Curtis said, let's
We're going
record
to make an
this
episode out of this.
We
This is
been
good
recording
footage.
this. We just been going in. It's just, if you've never heard of ChatGPT, I encourage you right now, stop what you're doing, pull over.
No, don't stop what you're doing because they watching the episode. You gotta finish the episode.
You're absolutely right. You know, but we've been so good about doing two things at one time, this whole multitasking generation. But my point is, when you get a chance, you can use whatever search engine of your liking and search ChatGPT if you like. Or better yet, you can just go to chat.openai.com and it's ChatGPT. So what is this? I'm gonna do my best to explain this. If this is not being rehearsed or anything, I'm just
No, we're on the fly with this one because we had too much valuable information. Let's go.
Yeah, okay, so ChatGPT, how would I describe ChatGPT? ChatGPT is an AI tool that allows you to research beyond just like a Google search engine, but it also will generate various pieces of content. Dot. Right. So I'll give you an example. So right now, if you were to go to your favorite search engine and you were to type in 5 birthday ideas for a 10-year-old, right? So what's going to happen is it's going to generate for you various websites, 9 times out of 10, various blogs that have information on all of these different types of ideas or things for what you just generated. The difference between entering that into ChatGPT and a search engine is that ChatGPT is going to actually generate for you the ideas, as well as you can tell ChatGPT generate some birthday ideas along with games and activities. And so what will happen is it will generate for you a list of birthday party activities with the instructions for the various games. So it's a little bit more than just a search engine. I like to call it's now it really can serve as a virtual assistant. You at work, it's changing lives for people at work. I know for me, but yeah, how are y'all using it? What has been fascinating about how y'all are using it?
Hey, for me, I use it for my social media posts. I'll go in and I'll make a video, or I might share a video. I might remix a video, and then I make my own post about it, right? And a lot of the stuff that I post about, I already know. So Chat GPT spit it out. Sometimes I use it as is. Sometimes I change it up a little bit. Sometimes I don't use any of it. It just was enough to get me to thinking.
Yes.
Right. Like, so it ain't all that bad. I actually love it. I use it for everything. I generated some questions to ask somebody. I had to do this interview, and I generated some questions on for instructors. some questions
Mm,
to ask instructors. How are they week going? How's the job going? And it listed out these questions. Few of them I took. Some of them I was able to reshape, and some of them I got rid of because they just wasn't what I was looking for, right? But
yeah.
it's lovely. It's like I don't depend on it 100%, but I depend
Hmm.
on it to get me to where I'm trying to go.
Yeah. Have you used it to do like so for work, the way I've used it was I needed to send a really quick email to some people who just attended a meeting, but it needed to be right away. But I didn't know who I was in that meeting because it was a lot of people and I didn't take roll or anything like that. And so the person who was going to send me the attendance report, they had something to do, whatever, it was going to be delayed. So I started thinking, how can ChatGPT help me? It's like, how can this work? So what I did was I just copied and pasted the chat log from Zoom. That's where the meeting was. And I just put it into ChatGPT and I said, can you take this transcript, remove every proper name without repeating any names, generate me a list of names instantly. So I didn't have to wait on that person to get back from doing what they were doing. I was able to send my email out to the people who needed it and all from that. You can't get that from Google. That's why I say it's a difference in terms of functionality, right? But I'm go on and on.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'll write out an email myself, and then I'll drop it in Chat GPT and say, "Can you write this more professional for me?"
Yes, or make
Right?
it better or
Mhm.
fix
Yeah,
it, show it
and then
this.
it writes it nice. Like I said, I still go through it and read it, and then I
Uh-huh.
take certain things out, and then boom, I send that email. And shit, I got
For
Yeah.
me, yeah, for me, it's been really dope because we post every day and we try and make sure our posts are accurate. We want to make sure our posts are heartfelt. We want to make sure our posts actually go viral or something like that. You don't want to just have a regular post. You want to have key catch lines. You want to have good hashtags. It gives you some direction, like you said, Kurt. It gives you like some bones, and you can always add what you need to the pot to make it the gumbo you need it to taste like. But it gives you the base to it. Everything that you do as far as
That roux.
emails. Yeah, it gives you that roux. It gives you the flavor that you need to start up with, that mirepoix.
Yeah, come
It gives you
on.
it gives you that seasoning that you need on your emails. If you're sending emails with work, I send emails and stuff. I say what I want to say. I put it in Chat GPT and it sends it out a little bit better because I might have some grammatical errors. I might need a comma here, might need exclamation point here, and I put a period, and it just gives it a better feel to your email. So when I send it back, it's pretty good emails that come out of me. But that's just me. I'm using it a little bit more, but I've just used it for the basic things that I need it for right now. But I'm just seeing it grow and grow, and I see people using it more and more. And I have a couple of things that I want to use it for. So in the future, you're going to see me using it a lot more. What about you, Rhonda?
You know, I've used it for a couple posts myself. Um, I've I've made newsletters out of it, emails. Like I don't know, it's come in really handy actually.
Mhm.
But it's kind
Yeah.
of, I know Curtis, you were talking like, it keeps track of, the how you talk and the things that you do. My question would be, is that going to change the level of answers or the level of response that you get from ChatGPT? If it's learning you,
it
like,
might
is
get
there going
better.
to be a ceiling?
No, it only gets better because it's taking all of Lashika's information, your information, trash information, and then in something I want might be in some of that, right?
Mhm.
Throughout the
Mm.
world, right? So it's gonna get better. Like I have conversation. I think Lashika said it earlier. I have conversations with Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I asked for some questions, then I said, "Can you provide me some answers to those?" Hey,
Uh-huh.
how about
Mhm.
some hashtags? What's some trending hashtags for those?
Yeah.
That
It just
part.
keep
It
going
always
on.
give me that.
Right. Yeah. Hey, I don't like those. Let me get 10 more. Right. I tell you, I
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
want 10 more, not 5, not 30. I want 10. And it gives me 10.
I love it. Have you gotten a response back yet where it's, I mean, not to put a personality on a machine, definitely not what I'm trying to do, but I feel like on at least two occasions the response back was just a little bit sassy. Like just a little bit.
I had one that I wanted to, sometimes I do these quotes that I put out myself, and I wanted to put one out. I said, give me something about about black people not being disciplined with their
Ooh.
money. And they said, "Oh, I can't do
Can't
that.
do
Like,
that.
I don't, I don't,
Oh,
I don't, right? I can't be racist. That might be
Hey,
deemed racist."
hey, you know what? I did get I had a post about one of the posts that I did, and it really went big. It went up to 100 and something thousand views, and it's like came back with like 13,000 likes, and it was crazy. But it was about it had something about being bipolar, and it like, this is me, but this is also me. And it was about the granny when she was like, somebody's giving you money, I bet you won't, I bet you won't. She was like, she don't need this money. And then she was like, exclamation, she was like, don't you tell that, oh, I'm sorry, she touched my soft spot. I was laughing so hard when I saw that post, but it came back when I asked us to put something in about bipolar, being bipolar, and this is how you respond. And it came back and said, absolutely not. That would be deemed disrespectful or degrading when you start talking
Yeah.
about people mental well-being and stuff like that. So it kicked out a nice little disclaimer on why he couldn't talk about that. It also says something about anything about war or violence. So it has some limitations where it says like this wouldn't be deemed appropriate information for it
Yeah.
to spit out. So I've got a couple disclaimers about that, but
I think in the future it's going to give us that information.
Yes.
I think it's going to let us know that, hey, I wouldn't say this, but
But this
to
is
your
it. Yeah.
point, this is what it is.
I think so too. I know because I remember one of y'all mentioning that, or y'all read about something using it to generate some jokes. And so I was probably on one of my tangents. I was going down a rabbit hole with ChatGPT, was just a bunch of random stuff. And I asked, I think I said, create a joke. Said, create a joke about an older man and a younger lady dating. And it generated that same disclaimer, like that's inappropriate. And then it went further to say something like it could be deemed disrespectful to make fun of people's age or people's preferences or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I tried to reword it in a different way. It still generated that same. It's like I just want a joke, but
Hey,
that's what it was. Sounds like some people may not find it funny to highlight age discrepancies. I mean, it just went in deep, and I was like, okay,
hey, something else I saw, a guy posted, and I saved the video because I said I was going to send it to you guys. I was doing something and couldn't right then. But the guy said he told it to make him 30 jokes or 20 jokes, 20, 30 jokes. It made him 20, 30 jokes. Then somehow he had it to share with Canva. No, he downloaded the file. He shared it with Canva, opened it up in Canva. Canva put it in all the quotes in a template. And now he had 30 quotes already ready made. So
okay.
you know how,
I'm working. I'm working on that right now. Since you said
yeah.
it, now, so if you see me look away, I'm here, but I'm there too.
Yeah. No, hey, I'm gonna send you the video in a second. But that was bomb, and the way he set it up, he like, now these quotes are ready to post. He said I can also have Canva to post them for me. I was like, wow.
dang.
So that,
So
that's
I
pretty neat.
wonder, like, I know you were saying, one of their faults is being biased. How are they going to rectify that? Like, I don't know. I can just see, there's already bad facts. Well, I can't even say facts. Bad information that's being put out as factual information.
yes, they do
A
that
lot
all
of
the
them.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I
So,
think we're gonna get two examples. Like this could seem biased, but this can also be from the other side, from another viewpoint, right? And give us two viewpoints. I can't see them stopping it from growing, because if I can't get information at some point, why use it, right? Like,
mhm.
you still muted.
My dog was barking. I was trying to wait, but yeah, that's a good question, Rhonda. Because when I think about how right now technology, there's so many biases in technology, right? There's these tools or like VR that doesn't pick up, so depending on the tool or the equipment, it doesn't pick up black people because of our pigmentation or whatever the case is. It's just all these things. But I know that for some of that technology, they're having to use humans really to go in and try to clean that up. But I think it's just going to be where there will be either another AI or some other form of AI that would clean that up. But even no matter what they do or however they do it, I think it would have to require human touch, right? I
Mhm.
mean, I just can't imagine that being done effectively without human touch. Because with ChatGPT, while it's machine, there are humans behind it making sure that it's running and doing its thing. So I don't know. That's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, that's some. I guess some of that is some of the cons and scary stuff. Because if you look at now, even with the human part behind it, you see Twitter in the news. They're being debriefed by Congress that they hid certain information during certain times, during COVID, during the president
Mm,
election, right? So the AI is in working, and then the human factor coming in saying, nope, grab that out, don't put that in. So that's a bias in itself,
so true. So true. You
right?
raised
So the
another
human
great point.
bias come in, right? Like
Yep.
like at some point. So at some point, the information got to be information, and then if you use it at your own discretion,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
they got to give up the information, right? Like, but I love it. Like, I think what's going to end up happening is what do we do for writers that really used to put their heart and soul into a story, into a movie, right? Like, cause I was practicing with a script. I was practicing with some children books, right? Like I just was throwing stuff out there. I probably did about 20 books. And I'm at some point I'm gonna do some kids books
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
off of ChatGPT and putting in the information. But I want to still use those keywords that kids should learn,
Yeah.
mhm,
Mhm.
right? But at the same time, teaching them what I want to teach them. Not Johnny
mhm,
play with the ball, Johnny rolled the ball, Johnny, you know
Right.
what I'm
He
talking
thought
about?
wrong.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I want to get those key words in there, but saying he had good credit, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we want to teach the kids some valuable stuff, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
I don't know. I see it really transcending how college is treated now. I really see it transitioning how high school teachers are correcting papers now. Like it's gonna be a lot different because if we're using it, our kids are definitely using it. Like so when they get to a point where they need 100-word essay or 300-word essay and they're getting it in 5 minutes, like I'm done already. Like, hold on. What you mean you done? It's all right here. Here go the
Yeah.
document. I turned it in already.
you know something, Trash. With that, I think automatically just something that come to thought for me is me as an instructor. Now I no longer grade papers. We have conversations about your paper,
Okay.
Oh,
That's
right?
Mhm.
Right now I know what you know, right? I
right.
don't care how you got it. Now I need to know how what you know.
but that's
Yeah.
what I said. It's gonna change how we look at school as a whole. It's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna it's gonna revolutionize how our teachers are teaching classes. It's gonna revolutionize, but is it for the better? Like are our kids really using their mind like they once
Yeah.
were? Because if the AI is doing the work for them, and,
But
and,
if they
and Junior,
studying,
Junior, Nick, all my guys, if y'all watching this, write y'all papers yourself.
I don't know
Write your own paper
if I was in
yourself.
school and I had Chat GPT, I
No, you
think
would use it. I would
I
use it.
would
I would
definitely
definitely
use
use
Yeah,
it.
it.
Hey,
I would.
I'm telling
I
the
feel like I
kids, do
would
your
too.
paper yourself. Young
So what'll
ant.
happen though if I didn't study? I'm gonna have a damn good paper, but I'm gonna fail a test.
Go, yep.
Exactly.
Right. So somewhere as a student, you got to make it work, and somewhere as a teacher, you got to make it work.
But
Right.
I
It's
Like
also
I
think
as
think
a
that
So hold on.
parent.
conversation.
I got a
It's so
question because I'm a father and I'm a father of a teenage kid right now. I know some of us got older kids, some of us got younger kids, and I'm kind of in the middle right here. How do I say that it's wrong for my kids to do that and they're getting good grades, but they're really not testing their brain like I would want them to as a parent?
I
So
wouldn't
how
You
say
can I
that
test
say
their
it's
that's
brain.
wrong?
You
wrong.
test their brain.
Yeah, I don't think that is wrong to I think it becomes, and I'm using air quotes, on purpose, but I think it's wrong when we see that the child has become lazy or really does not have the skill to write a paper or to carry on a conversation about the information, in the paper, being able to retain information, right? Because I think about a child who is who's neurodiverse, right? Their brain works different than someone who is not neurodiverse, right? And so to sit and even think about how to start on this book report with the assistance of a parent or an adult able to say, oh, okay, well, what we can do, let's not stress you out over what to write about. We can go to ChatGPT and at least get an outline. So we can use this outline now to write your paper. You see,
mhm.
so I think it is that it's just the same way when all these other tools came up when we were young and people were like, and adults especially, well, what's going to happen when, it affects our children? Well, they thought Nintendo was going to like ruin us, right? They thought the TV, well, some say the TV is ruining
It
us.
the
Right.
Nintendo did ruin us. It
That's
absolutely ruined us, and that's the reason why I didn't let my son jump on PlayStation, get into first person shooters, and he's an outside kind of kid because that alone it took me to a different place. But I found myself sitting back in front of the computer. I mean, in front of the Nintendo, in
hmm
front of the power pad, in front of the
Uh-huh.
little gun, and I wanted to play duck hunt. I didn't want to go play kickball no more because
Yeah.
duck hunt and double dragon was way more fun to me than going outside and playing with other kids. But that alone kind of pushed me away from being around a lot of people as a young person. And then I grew insecurities because you ain't going outside. Now you gaining weight. So now
Right.
it's some
But it
things that I
starts
had to
at
break.
home. That's where it starts. I think
Yeah,
it
no, it
starts.
does.
But you got to
It
think
does.
we got a
Starts.
lot of single parent households out here because we know how the system is designed to break them up. And we
hmm
don't have a lot of parents that are really have the time, that are afforded the time to be that involved in their kids' life. We don't have a
I
lot of two
think we
parent
have the
households
time,
like that.
Trash.
There
We
I
you go.
don't make
honestly
the
think
time
we
not
have
with
the time.
single parents. We don't.
We
We don't
don't
make
make
the
the
time
time.
because I know people that sit up and talk about love and hip hop, right? But they can't do their kids' homework. Because I think a lot of people in our community, they think, go in there and do your homework. And then they do the homework, turn it in wrong,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Because you never check with them. So if they had Chat GPT, imagine if that kid, I don't know what the condition you call it, Lashika, neuro challenged or
Neurodiverse. Just
neurodiverse. So
mhm.
so imagine um I'm talking to a dictation software inside of Chat GPT. So it's my thoughts now being typed out, then rephrased so you can understand me,
Mhm.
right? It
Mhm.
puts me on an even land playing field to me,
It
Mhm.
does.
right? Right. So it's my words, but Chat GPT now understands me and rewrite it to where everybody can understand me, right?
Yeah.
Like that's win-win, especially
Yeah.
if we're making sure that they're putting their information in, not just us saying, "Hey, give me an article on the Obamas," and then it just write me something, and then I just turn
Yeah.
it in, and I don't know nothing about the Obamas, right?
But see, I think just like, when I was in school, and if I turned in a paper, well, let me rephrase that. When I was in college and I turned in a paper, the instructor would put it through to check for
Yes.
plagiarism.
Yep.
And I think, with ChatGPT coming out, there's going to be something just like that. They're going to know what you put in, how much work you put in to get this. It's
So,
not going to be my thoughts anyway. I don't think it'll be, oh, you can just use ChatGPT to write this, because you're going to be able to tell. I don't think they're just going to put that
How?
out there and not do
Yeah, I
anything.
don't
How
think
you
so
gonna be
either.
able to
So
I'm with
tell?
you, Lashika.
How you gonna be able to tell? So I tested this, and I know this is still new and young. I know it is. So I asked ChatGPT to generate something, a paragraph about something. I don't remember. It may have even been for an email. And so I went back, not the same day, because it saves everything you put in. So I
mhm.
went back and I copied that same result, that they generated, and then I said, "Tell me if ChatGPT did this," and it told me it couldn't do it.
yet,
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
you
not
already
saying he can
you
do it
already
right
messing up the
now.
AI
I'm
software,
saying,
Rhonda.
How do you
I'm
think they'll
saying
be able to
yet.
do that? I'm curious.
Just
Yeah,
like the
no,
way they, if they, because so information is out there on the internet, right?
let's
If
see.
I go to a website and I copy verbatim what was on there, they're going to be able to tell. Chat GPT stores the information, the questions that you ask,
Yeah,
the
but that
information that you put in there.
that's now you giving up my private information. Now we're getting into privacy
Is
laws.
it really
Yeah.
private though? It's a free
Yes,
Yeah,
it
no,
platform.
no,
is.
no. It's gonna be privacy, right? Between me and Chat GPT. That's my personal assistant.
Right, but it's a
Yeah.
free platform. You ain't paying that personal
No, but
assistant.
I'm logged in as me, right?
You
Hey, look,
Oh,
no, I get you, but I don't think, because I can tell her to rewrite that same interview 1,000 times.
right, and she's gonna log that you said rewrite this.
Yeah, so um,
You
I
want her
can't.
to
Well,
snitch
you
on
keep
you want
saying
her to
she.
snitch on people
We all
essentially.
started saying GPT is a girl.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's wrong, huh?
Sometimes I refer. It's crazy when I'm talking about it. Sometimes
Why did
I'll
I
say
say it was a she?
she, it, him. I don't know.
Y'all, they.
They,
Hey, hey, we
they,
put
and
whatever
them.
masculine or feminine on it. They, them. We can't put any masculines or feminines on it.
Well,
We
I
gotta
just try to
give it.
use it by the name, but Chat GPT. But I said she though. Damn,
You
that was
did.
crazy.
Put respect on Chat GPT name. You already know.
I'm gonna ask her later on. You a she or he?
Let's dance right now. I'm right. I got it open right now. I'm like, is there? I'm typing. I'm asking. Is there
He's
a
gonna
way to
say,
tell
"I
me?
am an AI program."
She said she an AI program. Oh,
No,
I meant
see,
Chat GPT said it's an AI program. Yeah, no, it's all good, but I can't see us getting. I can't see the plagiarism side of it just because it's so strong. I just can't.
not saying that it's plagiarism, but saying that they're going to be able to tell how much of that information
Came
Chat
from Chat
GPT
GPT.
came up
Yeah.
with
Well,
compared to what you put in.
this why I don't think so, Rhonda, because this guy, I saw him put in. He was an author, right, of this book,
Hmm.
and he told the Chat GTP to write a 11th chapter to his book and write it in a way that I would write it, and he put the title of it.
Hmm.
And he said he sent it to some people, and they was like, "Man, that's we love it. That's what made you come up with that?" He was like, "I got it from Chat GPT. It wasn't me that wrote it."
Wow. So I just asked ChatGPT, um, is there, let me, so I said, is there a way to tell if content is generated by ChatGPT? And so it says that it's not always easy to tell if content has been generated not just by ChatGPT, but by any other AI language model. But there are some indicators, and I think they are working on some tech around it, because this is how these are these some indicators that suggest that content was generated by AI, like ChatGPT. So I won't go into details. I just call them out. It says repetitive sentence structure, lack of emotional tone, unusual phrasing or word choices. And I just got to speak to this because it says AI language models may use phrasing or word choices that are not of typical human speech. Duh, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then lastly, it says because of errors or inconsistencies. So it says even though they are becoming increasingly sophisticated, they can still make errors. But it says there's definitely um, a possibility of tech to be created to be able to indicate AI generated content.
Hey, look, so you grab that content, you put it in Grammarly, and then you go in and change words up, and then you change the words that you don't like. Like, remember I said I changed words up because
Yep,
I'm not gonna say that.
right. Not
So
Right.
like that.
yeah, I change the words up. I take
Yeah.
sentences out, right? Like
Uh huh.
so I don't know. It's gonna be hard.
It is. I think it will be, but I think that I support it in the workplace just because of how
Mm-hmm.
it's really improved my work life balance. It really truly has. I also support it in the schools because I see how it has been beneficial for me in the workplace. I can only imagine it being very helpful for students, teachers, parents. Even I think about, and this is just had this thought now, but when I think about our older relatives who are now taking care of younger generation and some of the information that's been taught in history or in math class, some of these parents they don't know.
It's
And
different.
sometimes Google is not the easiest to get answers, but to be able to
Definitely.
just hop into this platform, ask a question, the information that it generates, I think it can be very beneficial. So I'm looking forward to see where ChatGPT takes us. I will continue to use it. And there are other tools, not just ChatGPT. There are other,
Mm-hmm.
Steve
you know,
talk.
apps or AI.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Kurt put
what
me
you
up on
saying,
Steve
Trash?
talk. Steve put me up. Kurt put me up on Steve talk the other day.
Steve
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, Steve is wonderful.
Tell us about Steve.
Steve got a bunch of different categories to him. So you can go into video side, you can go into audio sides, you can go into so many sides of it. But I think at some point you gotta start purchasing Steve.
So Steve, just STEVE.
Dot
Mm-hmm.
AI, I think it is.
Man, I'm
Mhm.
on it right now.
Yeah,
How come
yeah.
we've never talked about this?
He did. That's how I know about it.
Right.
That's how I know about it.
I had never. You said Steve.ai.
Yeah, either I talked about it or I sent y'all a link or something. But yeah,
You
we've
did
been
not
on
send
it.
I
a
clicked
link.
it. Yeah, I typed it up and I jumped on it.
Yeah,
Steve.
you were talking about it.
Yeah, hey guys, before we close out,
Oh,
let's talk about how you gonna continue to use it and why should other people use it? Just take any one of those and get the people something that they can take from this interview or take from this show and go out and use G Chat GPT. Wow, use her and see and see how they can progress in life, right? Like it's been life changing for me, really. I can honestly say life changing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good with emails, and it sometimes I have to come back to an email and rewrite. Now that email gets done, and I go like, yeah, no, that's good. Let me take that sentence out, but it looks good.
yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would definitely keep using it for newsletters, emails. Like, I don't know if I would, if I personally would write a book with it, but I don't know. But
Mm,
definitely emails, newsletters, posting, my day to day life.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I think that it's I mean it can be looked at as just another luxury, another tool, just like some people have they use Alexa to turn their lights on. You know, they don't some people say that's cheating. You should get up and go turn your lights on. But it's also a way to improve quality of life. That's how I
Hmm.
see it. You know, why waste time, spend time and brain capacity to think of an email, then you can just get what you need in less than a couple of seconds and move on to the next thing. So that's my 2 cents.
I look at it like this. Technology is not a bad thing, but it's also not the best thing. We become more and more reliant. I remember back in the days when we used to have to memorize telephone numbers. And right now, if I had to call my mom because she switched her number, I don't have her number memorized. I'll have to go through my cell phone, or I have to go through Google to even call my mom. And that was something that I used to pride myself in. If you want to get a girl number, you memorize that thing. You got to remember the area code, you got to remember the prefix, and you got to remember the last four. So these are skills that we used to have that we're letting technology take over for us. And I know dudes right now, if their phone get lost, they done. You know what I mean? It's good to a certain extent.
Yeah.
We get smarter, but we get a little bit weaker as far as what we're able to do with our brain capacity, because we're letting technology do a little bit too much for us. So some of it's great. I love it. And I can't say that I'm not going to be, Alexa, turn off heat. You know, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to use
I
it.
can't stand this stuff. Alexa, turn off the
Hey, I'm not gonna say that I'm not using technology, because I'm a real big fan of it, and I see some of the advantages of it. But at the same time, like you said, I used to have to run upstairs to go cut that thing off. Now it ain't like that right now. We can just go ahead and say a few words in the air. But what else is Alexa listening to?
And
Okay.
that's all good. I think we've been under surveillance for a long time, and then now we just know we're under surveillance. But
Yeah.
I would say trash. For those numbers, for me, that's useless information. I don't have to remember no more, because we still reading books, so we're gaining valuable information, right? We're in a book club, we're gaining valuable information. Why do I need to remember that number now when I can say, Alexa, call Lashika, right? And she called Lashika, right? But at the same time, I think long as we continue to grow and not be outsourced for as we don't have income, then that's when the issue is. But I would say to the people, you guys need to practice with ChatGPT, because it's going to be about whoever can talk to AI the best. That's who the people that's going to win with AI.
Yeah.
And so you have to know it, you have to use it, and take advantage of it. So the way I see ChatGPT, I wanted a garden, right? Like, we might not have as many jobs, so I need to be growing my own food. I need to have me some land now, and somewhere where my computer system is tight, my solar system is tight with my power.
Yes,
right?
got it.
Right, and I'm running it, because at some point, if all the jobs are lost, how do we make money?
That part.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
so
that's right.
We really got to look at AI as it's going to make life so easy to where it can make it hard for others.
That part.
Yeah, it's already a list being circulated of all of the jobs that potentially will go away just because of tools like ChatGPT. You know, you think about the companies that have folks on staff and all they do is generate social media content. Well, we've already heard from Trash how ChatGPT is basically helping him win on that part, you know, on that aspect of his business. So, absolutely right, Curtis.
Hey, I know we can keep going with this topic, because I got to say this is one last one, right? Imagine this, right? You remember Dolly? I think it was the one
Dolly
that,
too.
right?
Please tell me
So imagine me going to Dolly and say, "Hey, make me a picture of a guy riding a horse while on ice skates," right? And then ChatGPT, make me a post about my love of ice skating, right? And then they put it together and post it for me to where I don't have to do anything.
That's dope. That'll be
Right?
dope.
Like, so we won't need a lot of people, right?
It's
Anyway,
coming.
you guys just know this: we got problems, but we also have solutions.
And ChatGPT.
And ChatGPT, and we out. Oh, that's good.
That was
Yeah.
good.
I actually think that was better than the water conversation. So.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at Curtis Martin 247, at Rhonda Wrights Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.